everyone. It is season 3, episode 3. All the threes.
333. Is that some sort of angel number?
Probably.
And here we are, angels.
How are you doing today? What have you been up to?
I'm lovely. What have I been up to? Not much to speak of. Been dipping my little toe into the world of submissives.
Oh, yes.
All in the name of investigative journalism.
Yes. So
Yeah.
do you want to explain a little bit more about that to our listeners?
No, I don't. Not yet. Not until I've got all my findings.
Okay.
Because I want to make an educated, thing out of it.
Okay.
At the stage I'm at the moment, I can't say whether, I haven't formed a rounded opinion of it yet.
Do you think by the final episode, which will be episode 8 of season 3, you will have some sort of conclusion?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes. So watch this space.
Yeah, tune in to episode 8. Submissives.
Yeah. And the women that love them. What about you? What have you been up to?
I went to the Victor Wind Museum again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Took Oscar, my 14-year-old son.
What did he think?
Loved it.
Yeah. Any new bits and bobs in there, or is it the same?
Yeah, well, the replica of the man's penis with syphilis was in there. We didn't see that before, but I saw it on the website.
Oh,
Do you remember
okay.
me telling you
Yes,
about it?
yeah.
Yeah, so the deceased penis was there. Which
Would
was
you
really
be
cool.
able to identify a man with syphilis?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen any of the images going around of monkeypox, but it's fucking worse than that. It's no wonder people fucking died of it. It looks horrendous.
Doesn't it make you mad, syphilis?
Yeah. It gets into your bloodstream and makes you all like mental.
God.
And then you eventually die. But you'd probably be welcoming death. Honestly, the wounds on this penis and balls, there was like huge, great big, almost like holes in the ball sack where it was just eating away at the flesh, pretty much.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Wow. So you'd know it's not like a chlamydia situation where...
No.
It's symptomless.
No. We will talk about STIs.
Yeah.
In later episodes, because I think, we're here to educate.
Yeah.
Aren't we?
Absolutely.
So we will talk about STIs in more detail, but yeah, there's a lot that are sneaky.
Yeah.
And I don't know if crabs counts as an STI, but it's certainly sexually transmitted.
Yeah.
It's not an infection, but it's
an infestation.
It's an infestation. I've never had crabs.
God, me neither.
And I've never...
Oh,
I don't know much about them.
Made me go all like...
Yeah. I think crabs was big in the 80s.
Well, do you think that's down to the hair? The amount of hair people had?
Yeah, it must have been. It must have been. But we'll talk about it in later episodes.
Yeah, and we'll show you how easy it is to get a test as well.
Yeah, we've got all of that coming, all the education. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
That's why
You're here for the info, aren't you?
Yeah. But today we've got a really good episode because we're here to talk about how to start a conversation about sex, because everything you read and all the advice that people give you are like, communicate.
Yeah.
But,
they're always at it, aren't they?
Yeah. Just communicate with each other. Like, that's easy. Especially if you've with your partner and you've been together for a long time. Then communication, if it's not good, it can be difficult the longer you kind of aren't communicating.
Yeah, definitely. And I think even in like early days of like dating, it's hard to communicate what you want because you're trying to be the best version of yourself, aren't you? You don't want to be rejected for your likes and dislikes, and you kind of want to appear to be like quite, carefree. Everyone fucking loves an open person. But the amount of people that I have dated who say they're open-minded and actually they're not open-minded and then shut down as soon as you start a conversation about sex is, well, there's loads of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, everyone knows that the key to a decent relationship with anyone is communication.
Yeah. But how do we start this conversation?
How do you communicate? No one really teaches you.
No. You've got all the questions sorted out. It's so simple, isn't it? Just to say, oh, are you into this or are you into that? But how do you approach that, especially when you're trying to not, be too intrusive? I mean, you know me, I love the interview style of dating.
Yes.
So I am there, I've got my clipboard and I'm ticking things off. So for me, that can be intimidating for potential partners, but I find it very easy to start a conversation and tell them what I do and don't want. But if you're not like us, how are we going about it?
Yeah, well, I'm not great at communicating, as I find I'm into men as my sexuality, and I find men quite intimidating, even though I'm like a strong woman or whatever, but I still find it quite like an intimidating process, especially in that dating kind of scene.
Yeah.
I hate it. I'm a massively introvert. I can't bear like awkward situations. I really don't like meeting new people.
Yeah.
I find it very difficult. So communication for me is quite difficult, but I'm determined and I'm smart and I've learnt some stuff, so I'm going to share it with you.
Please do.
Yes, I will. I will.
I will. Tell us what you know.
I mean, it's probably all wrong and you're probably all going to have a go at me.
But if it's worked for you, like these are just, it's just a little tip.
Yeah, it's just a little tip. It's
just a little tip. You can adapt it, can't you? But you might find that one of these tips opens the door to talking more freely with your person.
Yeah, well,
or your
these
people.
These are just tips in general, really, about communicating anything.
Yeah.
Because it is about communication.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be more awkward because it's sex. Usually, like, you're not communicating simple things.
No. But I find when it's like communicating anything that you feel apprehensive about, you're worried that it's going to ruin everything. And in reality, anything that can be ruined by an honest conversation is not something that's stable anyway.
Yeah. If it's a new relationship or even an old relationship, if these conversation tips aren't working out, then maybe it's not a decent relationship that you should be part of, because communication, we should establish, is with two people, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's talking and it's also listening. So you've got to learn to listen and to talk, and it can be really scary to do that.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely.
So yeah.
Yes.
Let's ruin some marriages, shall we?
Just another day's work for us, isn't it?
Showbiz kid. That's going to be my new catchphrase. That's showbiz kid. Okay, so my first tip, and people are going to be like, no. But my first tip, and I think it's a good one, is to communicate through text.
Yeah.
And I know that's frowned upon because there's no tone in text, so things can get like read wrong.
Yeah, it's very easy to misconstrue a text message, isn't it?
Yes, very easy. But it is also easier to communicate something you're worried about talking about through text than what it is face to face. So you know that you're not going to have that conversation face to face. So, if it is through text, not ideal. Obviously, face to face is ideal, but we're not communicating, and we know we can plan it all in our heads what we're going to say.
Yeah.
And then when they get there and you're face to face, you ain't fucking saying it. Just
No.
admit it. So, you might as well do it through text, because then at least you've said it.
Yeah. Well, you're in a place of safety as well. So if the things that you're approaching, you feel like particularly vulnerable about, because no one wants to be slated, do they, to their face?
No, and it's easier for the person receiving the text. So on the other side of the communication, the listener, let's
Yes.
say, or the reader in this case.
Yeah.
They've got the opportunity then to have their reaction
Yeah.
without it being in, like, right in front of you. Like, sometimes it's better to have, like, your natural reactions than to chill and then to reply to
Absolutely.
things.
Well, yes. I mean, we do this quite often, don't we? We react to things in front of each other, and then we go, no, I'm not dealing with that, and then turn our phones off.
Yeah.
And then come back to it when you're in a better space, because otherwise you just say like crazy shit, don't you?
Oh, yeah. The amount of times I've written out text messages of just pure, unadulterated fucking hatred to people that just are really nice. And I've had to just delete them
Yeah.
and just come back to it later and then just write something a little bit less aggressive than...
Yeah.
Because my initial reaction to things are like a child's.
Yeah.
Proper tantrum, proper throwing my toys out the window, proper trying to burn every bridge possible.
Oh, mate, douse everything in petrol, chucking a lighter. Yeah.
I fucking hate you, fuck off, you're a cunt.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing constructive about my
No.
initial reactions to things that upset me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's everyone's though, isn't it? Like, and especially if you're on a subject that is so easily to make someone feel uncomfortable or feel like, I don't know, not attacked, but like when you're trying to say something constructive, but it's not going to come out very nice. As a receiver, you just feel hurt, don't you? Straight away, you're just like, oh my God, that fucking is well out of order.
Yeah, and that's another thing really that we should talk about, because when you're the one that wants to communicate something, you've also, if you want that received in a well-mannered way, you have to set an example as well. So when you receive text messages from people you're in relationships with and you do feel angry, take a leaf out of our book, come away from it and go back later.
Yeah.
Because you have to be a listener sometimes as well. It's not all about talking, is it?
No, that is true. And I think as well, like, you, just because someone can message you as well, like, doesn't mean that they get to have access to you instantly. So don't feel like you have to message back straight away. You're allowed to go away, sit with it, have a little think about how you feel with it, and then go from there. I think that is an everything bit of advice, isn't it? That.
Yeah. I mean, this is just advice. Like I said at the beginning, this is advice you can take from communicating anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's okay to communicate that. Like, the amount of times I've been in situations where I'm like, that's upset me. I need to think about that.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't got to answer questions immediately if you don't want to. You don't feel pressured for your next response to someone to be the answer to their question. You can say, let me think about it.
Yeah.
And then come back to it later.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And especially if you're opening up a conversation about sex, something that someone might be proposing to you might not be something, like, your initial reaction might be like, that's disgusting, absolutely no fucking way. But you can go away, have a little think and go, do you know what? All right. And then give it a whirl.
Or maybe you still might not want to do it, but then you can reply and say, don't want to do that, but I'm open to suggestions of other things. Or maybe suggest something that you want.
Instead. Yeah, I like what you're saying, but instead should we do something I want to do?
Instead of being like, no fucking way, you're a fucking weirdo, which is what your initial reaction will be. So this is the great thing about communicating with text. you haven't got to initially response with your first thing that comes into your head and your first emotion that you have.
Yeah.
Because it can be dangerous to do that. You can fucking destroy things by doing that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've all sent a message that we wish we hadn't sent.
Yeah.
But then, like, you know how stubborn, like, we are. We just have to fucking go with it then, don't we? After we've destroyed a 7-year relationship in one fell swoop. We have to suck it up now.
Exactly. And when you do want to destroy that relationship, then go in with your initial reaction, because I have used that as a way to proper just destroy something I don't want anymore.
Oh, yeah. So it's, yeah.
Just like, do you know what? I'm fucking sick of this shit.
Yeah.
Fuck off. I fucking hate you. I hope you die. Because there's no coming back from that.
Yeah, it's very final, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you've made the decision, just wait for your next opportunity for a text and then just drop that bomb.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what?
Charm.
Fuck off. Yeah. Yeah, 100.
Unleash it. So when you're texting these things, what kind of text do you think works? Like some actual, like, physical phrases.
I have this technique patented where I will say something like, I had a dream last night.
Okay.
And then I will communicate to them what I want that has happened in this dream.
Fucking hell, you say this to me all the time.
I had a dream you gave me £100. It was the craziest thing ever, and you're really like cool about it and just like delved into your purse and was like, no worries, kid. No, I don't do it to you, but I have done it in situations where I know that the man is too fragile to hear the things that I need to say. So, you know, it's a great way of communicating whether like someone needs to be a little bit like more gentle or a bit romantic or a bit heavy-handed or whatever. It doesn't make them feel like they're not doing what they should be doing anyway. You could just be like, I had a dream you were wearing all leather and it was like the hottest thing I've ever seen. Or I had a dream that you grew a moustache. Or, you know, something fucking mental. That was handpicked from all of my dreams. So, yeah, that's a good way of like, it's a conversation starter. And it's very like, if it becomes too awkward, it can be just brushed under the carpet and you can just be like, oh, it was just a dream. Then you know where you sit with it. If they're like, absolutely fucking not, then you can be like, you're dumped.
Yeah. It's a great seed planter.
Yeah, just like a little seasoning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little spritz of water and nutrients onto the relationship flower.
Yeah, so I think that's a good little way of starting it off.
Yeah.
Because no one's getting hurt, are they? Because if you go, it was just a dream, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's getting hurt, yeah.
So, yeah. And like, as a woman who very unfortunately only fancies men, I know how fragile the male ego can be. And so it's hard for men to hear things sometimes. If you put it as bluntly as, this sex is not good, this is the sex that I want to have, it can be absolutely soul destroying.
Yeah, and I think, to be fair, really the conversations in general and communicating in general, yes, the male ego is very fragile. Like, you can't say like you use too much garlic in that risotto because they'll freaking lose their minds. But when it comes to sex, I think we're all guilty of feeling very fragile because we're vulnerable when we have sex, aren't we?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's the difference between you carrying on having sex and you not having sex ever again.
Yeah.
Or having like weird, guarded, uncomfortable sex if you choose to continue having sex with them.
Yeah, which no one's enjoying that.
No one's enjoying that. So I think like there's no room for that in a sexual relationship. If you're just out there going, this is where you're inadequate. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
constructive criticism is not a thing. And I know this because I have delivered constructive criticism, which I believe to be constructive criticism, and they have taken it as like, oh my fucking God, I want to die.
Yeah. Well, I think that's very important to bring us to another tip of mine, which is don't say what you don't like.
Yeah.
Unless it's something that you really, really, really don't like and they're not getting the hint. But start by saying what you do like, because that's better anyway, isn't it?
Yes, positive reinforcement.
It's positive reinforcement, and then you're communicating what you want. Like, to say what you don't want is not helpful to anyone in any situation, in any conversation. Oh, I don't like romantic films.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how about horror? Oh, I don't like horror. It just breeds more questions. So just say what you do like.
Yeah.
Which is action films.
Yeah.
I like action films. Great. Let's go and see a fucking action film then. Done.
So would you say that not saying what you don't like and setting boundaries, are they the same things?
Well, it depends on the situation, but I think in general, when we're talking about communicating your boundaries by saying where they are, it's the same as telling someone what you do like as well.
Yeah.
But it's just another way of doing it where people aren't getting, people that are in their vulnerable places with sex aren't feeling attacked.
Yeah. You don't want to be discouraged, do you?
No.
Yeah.
And really, if they're doing something that they really shouldn't be doing, I mean, if they just strangle you without asking, I mean, tell them to stop.
Yeah.
Because people shouldn't be doing that anyway.
Yeah.
So if it's something that's a crime that they shouldn't be doing, then please do say stop.
Yeah.
But what I mean is, just, general things like, if you don't like your nipples being nibbled or something, just say, can you, instead of going, can you not like nibble my nipples, say, I really like it when you kiss my neck loads, so their mouth's occupied with areas that you like it on, rather than the ones that you don't.
I've had situations where I have said I don't like something and they don't fucking listen. And so every single time, like, you're politely trying to like bat their hand away or drag their head somewhere else and they just carry on. Do you think that's a fuck you, or do you think they think that you don't really mean it?
Well, again, that's a communication issue, because I think sometimes things need to be communicated verbally, don't they?
Yeah.
Or through text, rather than hints, because that is a hint.
Yeah, that's a hint, isn't it?
That's a hint, And hint, not everyone can take a hint, or sometimes they can take a hint when it's not a hint. Yeah. That's what I'm guilty of.
Oh, okay.
Because you try and take hints, don't you, based on like sounds that are being made.
Yeah.
They're making like sexy sounds and you think, okay, they like that. Cool.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. But, are they actually in pain?
My sexy sounds don't sound like my pain sounds.
Oh, okay.
So I'd like to think that I'm quite clear.
Oh, I think sexy sounds sound very similar to pain sounds.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I'm not going to do any because I don't want to turn on the whole world with my moaning sounds.
Oh, God. Yeah.
That's on our Patreon. Sign
And
up.
for only £3 a month, you can hear Charlie's sex sounds. It's an entire playlist. Okay, so telling them what you do want as opposed to telling them what you don't want is definitely the way forward. Yeah, I agree, actually. Because if you're telling someone the things that you don't want, it's a negative already, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a negative and it's not helpful.
No.
It's not helpful. Then that person's left guessing still, aren't they? So, if you just say what you do want, then the conversation is done quicker, because these awkward conversations, you don't want them to go on. do you?
No, you don't want it to. You don't want to be having the same conversation over and over again.
No, and once you get past this initial hurdle of communication, especially if you're leading by example, it can all happen really quickly and open things up really quickly. Once you know you can be vulnerable with someone once, it makes it easier the second time. Like the first time is always the hardest. So this, this communication problem can be sorted and rectified very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely appreciate it when it's like open.
Yeah.
Like it's easier to know what someone wants, isn't it? No, you can't guess.
No. So you have to, you do have to say it. And I think through text.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think a good time to do it is the day, maybe like the morning after, or if you have sex in the morning, maybe like once your partner's gone to work or they leave, just to drop a little
Stopping the blow. Stopping the blow.
Because I tell you what we do want. So there is no blow.
Yeah.
This is the whole point. So you drop a little sexy. Last night was really hot. I loved it when you did that.
That's a good little tip, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't bring it up randomly, because that can catch people off guard. If you do it at the right time, like through text, if you're doing it, obviously you have to then not be with each other. So once the person's gone to work or gone to the shops, or maybe you make an excuse to, like, if you live together and you don't have jobs and you're at home all the time together, which, I mean, just get divorced now, because that no one can live like that. No one can live like that. There must be times when you're apart every day, surely.
Yeah.
Or even if you, I don't know. Whatever works for you. I don't know. I don't know what people do when they live with each other that don't work or leave.
It just doesn't bear thinking about.
Hopefully it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So I can't cover that basis with you guys. You just carry on doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then maybe like a little, once you've done that a couple of times down the road in this conversation, maybe some sort of, what do you like?
Yeah. But then do you ever get, like, I get asked all the time, what is your biggest fantasy, or what's your sex fantasy? And honestly, I never know what to say to people.
Yeah, I get asked that. Like I've got some secret fetish that I'm keeping hidden because I don't know.
Yeah.
Just whatever you're doing. But then you need to say, that. I like...
But then they think that you're keeping it a secret, like you say.
Yeah.
They think that I won't divulge my biggest sex fantasy.
No, but then your sex fantasy might, like, you think they're expecting some sort of massive, like, I am into My Little Pony butt plugs or something. But really, what your fantasy is the stuff that you like.
Yeah,
so it doesn't have to be...
Yeah,
like,
one isn't like wild, elaborate sex fantasy. It's just sex with someone I fancy.
Yeah, I really like it when you respect me.
Yeah.
Yeah, my fantasy is you walk through the door with a bunch of flowers and...
Yeah. My fantasy is when you go to the shops and I tell you I don't want anything and you buy me sweets anyway.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, seeing a man walk through the door with a fucking Snickers, mate. Yeah. After you said no.
Yeah. Yeah. Little tip there for people.
It's not hard, is it?
No.
Everyone thinks we're so high maintenance.
No. It's because people are polite. Like, the British way is to be polite, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you might want something, but you don't know what you want until you're at a shop anyway, do you? If you want to fancy something. Yeah. So just a little surprise.
Yeah.
That's well good.
I love
a well
it.
Good little...
It's one of my favourite things. Such a small thing, but that is one of my one of my things.
Yeah.
I
We
think
do that for each other, don't we?
we do. Yeah, we've always got a little treat for each other, haven't we?
Yeah, we actually gave each other presents
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
And it was completely not planned.
No.
We didn't know each other had bought each other presents, but we do that anyway randomly.
Yeah.
But
When you just see something that someone likes, you just like get a little treat.
Yeah, Nina bought me she didn't buy it, she gave to me a big bottle of Gaviscon. Which, I mean, one, a Gaviscon is expensive.
Yeah.
Two, if you get a cheaper product, it don't fucking work. So your options are Gaviscon or live with heartburn.
Yeah.
And I suffer from heartburn.
Yeah.
And I can't do a fucking thing when I've got it because it's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Can you imagine presenting anyone else with a gallon of Gaviscon, though? Because I don't know anyone else. I'd be like, got a little treat for you here.
Honestly, it's one of the greatest presents I think I've ever been given.
Oh, there's more where
So
that came
thoughtful,
from.
So thoughtful and so handy because you know you never have Gaviscon when you want it as well.
No, and they sell it in bottles like that, don't they?
Yeah, and it runs out really quickly.
Yeah, because you're not taking the right measurement. You just swill
Well,
it.
yeah, I just down it because I'll tell you when I stop. You don't tell me in 5 mils.
I'll tell you when I've had enough.
I'll tell you, and it's half the fucking bottle.
Yeah.
So yeah, proper loved it.
Yeah.
Proper loved it.
And Charlie
Thank you.
bought me some little feminist oracle cards, which I absolutely fucking loved as well. So,
Yeah, they're cool.
wrapped in dinosaur tissue paper as well, which I very much appreciated.
Yeah.
We're good to each other, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. And this is,
It ain't hard.
It is. It ain't hard.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, once you've done all that,
You're on your way.
you're on your
That's
way.
it.
Yeah. And I guess this is my final tip. Tell your partner that you found a new podcast and it's Sex with Charlie and Nina and get them to listen to it. And just say there's a really great episode about communicating about your sex life. It was really funny, really interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I probably just grassed you up if you've actually used this line on your partner and they're listening to it now. But they're doing a good thing. They're doing a good thing. Take it on board. Don't react. Just listen, learn some stuff, have a better relationship. You might get a fucking present out of it.
Yeah.
Especially if they've listened to this episode up to this point.
Yeah. Well, we have had couples, haven't we, that listen to the podcast together and then have said, like, thanks. It's actually opened up conversations for us to talk about things.
Yeah.
Because anything to do with sex, I think you do just go, oh, no, we'll leave that there.
Yeah. Or you think it's got to be such a, like, for example, with, like, sending a text, you haven't got to be like, right, I was thinking, and please don't take this the wrong way, and, like, make a scene about it.
Yeah.
And most people feel like they have to have, like, a sit-down conversation, because quite a lot of advice, actually, that I searched for on the internet was, like, make sure that your partner knows that you're in this together. And I just think, don't fucking say that.
No.
Don't sit someone down and make a fucking big deal out of it.
Oh, God. Can you imagine? Can you imagine someone, like, going, we need to have a chat? Number one, the minute someone says I need to have a chat, I want to throw myself out the fucking window.
Yeah, that's what I enjoy saying it to people.
Oh, no. Every now and again, you'll say, we'll have a chat. And I'm like,
Yeah. It's only if people piss me off. I'm like, okay.
yeah, it's
Let's
the
have a
worst one.
chat.
It's the worst one, though, isn't it? We'll have a chat about that.
Yeah.
Oh, my fucking God, kill me.
Send them a link to a Zoom meeting.
I only correspond over email from here on in. But yeah, don't say to someone we need to have a chat and then sit down and be like, right, so the terrible sex. That's the worst, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
So don't just listen to us. Don't listen to anyone else.
Yeah.
Direct your partner to this podcast,
Yeah.
and that's you're well on your way.
Yeah.
With those little tips.
I think that's a great little set of tips there.
Yeah. Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
Let us know your success stories.
Yeah.
And I mean, there is no not success story here.
No,
is
I
there?
agree.
'Cause
I
if
agree.
it all goes wrong and you get a divorce, that's a success story.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
my
we've done you a
eyes.
favour, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I think the chances of it going right are quite high.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're 100%
Yeah.
success rate, because if the person doesn't want to communicate with you, you know you can't communicate with that person, get rid. It ain't working and life's too short. But if they are willing to communicate, it will make your life better. Just 100% sex, 100% sex.
100% sex, guaranteed.
100% successful
Sex.
sex.
Sex?
What is going on?
She sells seashells.
Yeah.
Well done. I loved it. I'm going to take those tips and run with them.
Yeah. To your submissive. Sex, success, submissive.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the S's. Yeah.
Well.
So yeah. Did you have anything else to
Oh,
add to this?
yeah. Oh, I mean, where are we with time?
We're
Can we keep
about
going?
halfway. Yeah.
Oh, are we? Okay, so I have got a little news story.
Okay.
Okay, here's the title. 99-year-old Mexican grandma's final wish granted.
By a genie.
A giant penis on her gravestone. Okay? The giant penis statue is a result of a dying wish of a 99-year-old Mexican woman named Catarina. Okay, while most graves feature a tombstone with a hearty epitaph written on it, one grave in the town of Misantla, Mexico, stands out as it features a giant statue of a penis. The statue is a result of a dying wish of a 99-year-old Mexican woman named Catarina, known as Donna Cata. The woman had one final wish before dying, and that was for her to have a grave, to have a statue of a penis. Her family, abiding by the wish, erected the statue 5.5 feet tall in recognition of her love and joy of life.
Is that a true replica of a penis if it's 5 foot tall?
I mean, I've seen some.
Really?
Yeah. Names, address. I haven't seen a 5 foot tall penis. They usually come in at around 6 foot. Yeah.
Okay, so
What do you think about that? Do you think people should be allowed to have a 5 foot penis on their grave? Do you think that's rude to all the other corpses?
I think you can have whatever you want, personally. And I think if it offends someone, if you're doing something that doesn't harm anyone, but people are getting offended by it, then you're onto a fucking winner. That's my view.
Yeah.
I love upsetting people by not doing anything horrible.
Yeah.
Like living, for example. Like just merely existing.
My existence.
Just upsets so many people.
Oh my God. But do you ever worry? Because I always think this, like this whole dying wish business, that the people that are living won't do as you've asked them to.
Yeah, well, when my cousin's dad died, he had some requests.
He wanted a giant penis erected on his grave and not a penis in sight.
Yeah, he wanted some requests.
Okay. What were his requests? Can you tell us?
I can't remember. It was stuff like he wanted Kate to carry his coffin
Alone. I just want to see everyone fucking struggle.
Yeah, she probably could. And
Yeah,
she probably
could be.
would,
Yeah.
just to prove a point. But I remember her telling me some of the things that he'd asked for, like certain songs and like, you know, certain things like horse-drawn carriage and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, nothing wild then. I was thinking like he was being cremated and he wanted his casket to be full up of popcorn kernels or...
No, it's nothing wild, but it was just a bit like, Dave, like...
bit dramatic.
Yeah, why do you think that everyone is losing someone important? I'm joking. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's like really important to Kate, but it
Yeah.
was like this whole, he wanted like a big thing.
Yeah.
So when he was asking for all these things, Kate on the sly was just like, I ain't fucking doing that. But she's saying yes because obviously you say yes to people that are dying, don't you?
Yeah. But do you worry about the repercussions? Like the ghost would be like, you fucking bitch. You said you were going to do that.
I mean, the ghost of Dave is going to be terrible anyway. So, I mean, it won't matter.
Yeah.
It won't matter. He ain't making anyone's life easy to haunt them anyway. So you might as well just do what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think everyone does that? Do you think everyone like yeses off dying people and then actually when they die they're like...
Well, not in this situation, obviously, because they've done it.
They've done it. Yeah, I think... I mean, this is really nice of them because they didn't have to do it, did they?
No, they didn't have to do it. And, you know, I'm sure there was lots of complaints about it. But what I want to know is why she wanted it.
Well...
Does it say? I'm a logical thinking person, so I need to have reasons for
so
things.
she was very avant-garde, it says. Very avant-garde. Very forward-thinking about things. She wanted to break the paradigm? Oh, paradigm. Who knew I could say that? Paradigm of everything Mexican, where things are sometimes hidden because of not having an open mind.
So she's just a progressive person and she wants to make a statement.
Yeah. This is a little statement from her grandson. He said that she had a particular fascination with penises and she often used to refer to her family members as Vergas. Vergas is a Mexican slang term that differs in meaning based on how the person uses it or says it. While some use it as a derogatory term, some use it as a colloquial meaning, and it's actually a compliment.
So the word cunt then?
Yeah.
Because you can call someone
a
fat cunt and be
hateful. Yeah.
Or you can say it in a playful way where it shows love to people.
Yeah, you can say it very like...
You're such a cunt.
Yeah.
Meaning you're a cheeky little
you
bastard.
Scamp. Yeah. Yeah, and she used to impart the message to her grandchildren that they were Vergas and could accomplish anything that they put their mind to. So it's quite nice, really. She was just pretty cool.
Okay.
Really.
Well, she seemed well loved by her family, so that's a nice compliment on her, isn't it?
Yeah.
That they've given her a dying wish of having a penis. So when you first said that, I thought it was like a penis outline on a headstone, but it's an actual sculpture of a penis.
Yeah.
5'1".
Yeah.